In today's video, we are going to look at the Bloomables garden. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and it's been about a year since we planted up this huge garden bed here that is loaded with perennials from Darwin Perennials, and Bloomables is their line. What we've been really impressed with is the perennials in this garden is that they bloom virtually all summer long. It's hard to believe you can have a perennial garden that is always having something in color, and with these varieties, we've been able to do just that. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at these plants, talk about some that did better than others, and just kind of show you the progress as to what they look like a year later. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Bloomables garden. We're going to start off here at the low end of the garden, which we loaded up with coneflowers. These are the Sombrero series of coneflowers, and you can see just how nicely they've come back. Big, large clumps, lots of buds on them, so they'll be blooming in no time. So they have done really well. We also, in this area, we put a hydrangea quickfire fab because we wanted to add some structure into this bed. This is a proven winner's hydrangea, and so we're excited to see how this continues to grow throughout the season as well. But we did want to just point out that this is one thing in here that is not a Bloomables line of perennials. We've got the Achillea that are doing fantastic right now. I love these because these are a very drought tolerant plant and also long blooming. So I should mention it is June right now, and these plants are just gorgeous. Another thing I should mention as well is that we are located in a zone 6A, and these perennials, we're going to talk about a ton of them today. So if you're wanting more information, you can head to our website, gardencrossings.com, where you'll be able to get the zone details, the height, all of the extra questions that you may be wondering about these plants. We'll put a link in the description below on YouTube to Bloomables so that you can easily navigate to these plants. Here's a couple more of the Achillea or yarrow, some rose and then a beautiful red color. There's a lot of plants that are blooming and obviously some that haven't started blooming yet because blooms and perennials are a thing that cycle. We've got Coreopsis that have come back well, the uptick yellow and red. Nice foliage there. So we'll show you updates throughout the summer as they start to bloom. Leucanthemum. This is the Leucanthemum whitecap. Lots of buds on those. We did plant in 3 because sometimes you do lose plants. And if you lose one, sometimes it's kind of just a thing. But if you lose all of them, that's kind of more of a bigger thing. So that's why we planted 3. Sedum shamrock just starting to kind of come up there a little bit. One thing we did lose, there's a pretty big area here that's open, and this was the Penstemon cherry sparks. That did not do so well for us here in our zone 6A garden, so that will be something that we'll have to put another plant in that space just to kind of fill it out. Veronica, skyward lilac, they're just starting to put on just a little hint of color there. But a lot of buds just waiting to happen here on these skyward lilacs. In the background, we had, let's see, what is this? Oh, this is Agastache. This is a summer-long series. This is the yellow, I believe, the lemon. So the lemon is the least hardy in the group. Now, these are a zone 7 plant. As I mentioned, we're a zone 6A. So the fact that anything came up at all is pretty surprising and remarkable. So even though they haven't come back strong yet, the fact they came back, we really tested the zone on that particular plant. Scabiosa, flutter blue. Gorgeous plant, long blooming perennial. I love how the butterflies really love to hang out at this plant. The evening sun, Oenothera, that came back nicely, not blooming quite yet, but those will have nice yellow flowers on them eventually. Now there are a lot of coneflowers that we tucked in throughout this bed, so as we go through, you're going to consistently see splashes of coneflowers. We're not going to talk about all of them, unless if there was one that I feel really didn't do well. Otherwise, all of our double scoops and our sombreros, really, we've been quite pleased with how they've come back. So here's some more Agastache, and you can see how these came back a lot better. The tag fell off of them. So we'll have to wait down the season once it starts blooming to see what color they are. But you can see how these definitely came back quite nice. Some more coneflowers, nice big mounding habit. Helenium Salute Yellow came back nicely. You can see there's 2 nice plants there. And as I mentioned, we plant 3. One is a little smaller, but it definitely is still coming back quite nice. Oh, these have been absolutely gorgeous. This is the Blue Bayou Salvia. They're just a little bit past their prime right now. So once they stop flowering, we'll go ahead and give them a light trim and we'll get them flowering again soon. This has been a pollinator favorite. There's a lot of honeybees hanging out on them right now. So if you're looking for something for those pollinators, this is a perfect selection. Behind it is a gorgeous digitalis or foxglove, and this is a gorgeous yellowy white coloration. We have 3 of them planted here, and it looks like of the 3, only 2 came back. So this is kind of one of those plants that can be a little iffy. Arctic Fox Lemon Cream. They did come back from the main plant. Sometimes they can also seed themselves, although I don't know that this variety actually does seed itself. This one might be more of a sterile variety, but I'm loving all the really strong stems on it. This is a great plant for the hummingbird, and this color I think is kind of truly different and unique opposed to other digitalises that are out on the market. Some more coneflowers looking pretty good. The armeria have really been impressive. I love these long blooming perennials as well. This is Sweet Dreams, gorgeous light pink coloration. And those are just dancing in the breeze. Here's another area that is pretty open with something that didn't come back. And this was the Coreopsis Uptick Gold and Bronze. So there were 3 planted in this area, and as you can see, none of those come back. Now, it's kind of interesting because I have a hard time myself growing this particular of Coreopsis, those more broader leaf Coreopsis in my gardens. I don't know if we water too much, but this isn't a surprise for me because even in my home gardens, they never really do that well. Here we have the Polemonium Jacob's Ladder called Golden Feathers. Oh, this plant was gorgeous about a month ago. It's done flowering and the tops are kind of starting to dry up a little bit, which that's a little surprising to me, but you can see there's a lot of new growth on the inside. So we'll continue to watch and see what is going on with this because this is not what I would expect to be seeing right now on this Golden Feathers. Tucked behind them, we have the Delphinium Red Lark, and there were 3 of them planted here, and it looks like only 2 of them have come back, but they came back pretty strong, and they've got some flower spikes on them, so we'll update you as those begin to flower as well. Coreopsis Uptick Gold. So not all Coreopsis didn't do well. I think we had 3 different colors in here, and of the 3, only one of them was total bust. The Uptick Gold looks like it's coming back and quite nicely. Iberia Snow Station. Oh, this plant was gorgeous when it was blooming. This was actually the first flower to put on a show of color here in this garden with its beautiful white blooms that came back fantastic. We've got a few more digitalis here. This is the Arctic Rose, gorgeous flowers, so many spikes. It's a wonderful plant. When these are done flowering, we'll give them a light trim and hopefully they'll send up more shoots again later on in the season. So here's a plant stake. This is the Ocean Sunset Delosperma that was supposed to be here. This did not come back. And again, I'm not surprised. I think this is like a zone 6B or a 7. So the fact it didn't come back is not totally surprising to me, although I wish it did because it was such a gorgeous plant in this bed. Here we've got the Alyssum. This is the Alyssum Golden Spring. Beautiful yellow flowers. It's done flowering now with just a couple that are still remaining. But this too, this was right on track with Iberis when it was blooming. It was just gorgeous. Got a few more coneflowers in the back there. Nice full foliage. That's really a good sign. Here's some more of the Agastache. This is the Summerlong Coral. So Summerlong Coral come back really nice, and that will be flowering shortly. Dreamera Daydream. They came back gorgeous. Looks like we have a few of the Scabiosa that didn't come back. So there's 2 of the 3. This is the Flutter White. and two of them are coming back, but not as impressive as what they should be. So we saw the purple just a little bit ago blooming. The white honestly should be blooming as well. So we'll see if they ever catch up and ever put on flowers this year. But that's something to point out, that Flutter White just was not as hardy for us in this garden. Nepeta Junior Walker is doing gorgeous with its beautiful purple blooms. It's got a pretty nice habit as well. It's not cracking open. It's about 18 or so inches tall and about 24 inches wide. This is another great reblooming shrub in this garden. Achillea New Vintage Violet, not quite blooming yet, but loaded with a ton of blooms. In the back, we've got more of that summer-long Agastache. All three plants are there. This is the lilac. It's doing really well. The lavender, it's doing good as well. Oh boy, Super Blue, I think is the color. The tag's not here and I can't remember right off the top of my head, but I think it's Super Blue. Very compact, lots of flowers, so that one is doing fantastic. Let's head back in a little bit here. We had some butterfly bush, the chrysalis pink. They're doing fantastic. Can't wait to watch them start blooming. We also have some artemisia back here. It's doing really well. One thing I'll say is that it's kind of a spreading plant, so make sure that if you are planting it, you're planting it in an area that you're okay if it does spread. I think Sunfern is the name on it. Tucked in the back corner, a penstemon, beautiful purple or violet penstemon. Let me go in closer and see. This is the penstemon rock candy purple. So although the one earlier didn't do well, this purple is doing fantastic. All right, three plants we did lose was the Centura Silver Swirl, which was a beautiful silver foliage plant. It had got some yellow flowers on it, but mostly it was for the foliage that we really liked it. But none of these came back. So that one is a Zone 6A, but it didn't like its home here in our garden. All right, we've got, oh yes, another one that didn't do so good was the Lismachia Nightlights. So we had three of these also planted in here, and this one is really struggling to come back. So I would say for us, that's not a good choice for this garden bed. Sedum Wetedoozie, gorgeous foliage. This is just setting up some little flowers, so this will probably be blooming within the next few weeks or so, and that's doing really good as well. This is a good point in the video to talk about the Fairy Trail Bride hydrangeas. So this was a bed that's right outside my office window and that I would be able to really pay attention to. So we did put some more Proven Winner Fairy Trail Bride hydrangeas in here so that I could monitor and see how they do. So in this bloomable bed, we did tuck in a couple more Proven Winners plants. We planted the Fairy Trail series of hydrangeas. They're right outside my office window, so I was able to closely monitor how they were doing. And we planted these because I just wasn't sure about the hardiness of them. Were they going to overwinter well in our Zone 6A garden? Here we have Fairy Trail White. It's starting to come back and it's got some buds. We have Fairy Trail Green, Fairy Trail Bride, another bride, another green, and another white. So they have definitely come back. A little small yet, so we'll see how they do throughout the summer. But I'm impressed that at least we have that much going on in this garden bed, because originally they were listed as a Zone 7 plant and then it was lowered to a Zone 6. And I just really wasn't comfortable with that Zone 6, that they said it was Zone 6. So I wanted to see for myself what would they do in a Zone 6 garden. Here's more of that lavender, Super Blue, if that's what I called it earlier. Super Blue is the name on it. More Agastache that came back. This is the Agastache, part of, again, that summer-long series. Summer-long peach. So really, there's only one in that summer-long series, which is a Zone 7, that did not come back here in our Zone 6 garden. That's pretty impressive. Eurysum, bowls me away, also known as a wallflower. They are not doing so good. So 3 of them, I would say we have a half of a one that's actually coming back and trying to do something. More coneflowers, the sombreros, penstemon. Oh, this is definitely, I think, the highlight plant of this video right now. The penstemon Rock Candy Ruby. Gorgeous, gorgeous color. I just love how vibrant and how much color pop they add into this garden space. So they are doing fantastic. We've got some Sombrero Tango Tangerine coneflowers. Also, here's some more of the Scabiosa. This is the Scabiosa Rose. There was 3 plants planted here, and only 2 have come back. And again, they're kind of along the lines of the white, sort of coming back, but not great. So definitely, my take is that purple is the most hardy, most prolific in this particular series. And then to round out the bed here, we've got a few Agastache. This is Little Adder. And they too have done fantastic. So all in all, I've been pretty happy with the majority of the perennials in this bed. Just a few little varieties that didn't come back, maybe 3 or 4. So for as many as we planted in here, to have only 3 or 4 varieties not come back, that was a pretty good take on how these perennials are doing in this Zone 6A garden. A lot of color, a lot of beauty, and I just can't wait to watch as these perennials continue to put on their show of color when it's their time to shine this summer. I will do a quick addition to the perennials, and that is the annuals you're seeing. These are all part of our Super Kale series. We'll be doing more on those in another video, but we did plant every single Super Kale petunia or Petunia calibrachoa mix, that's what Super Kale means, in this bed so we can watch and observe how they do as well throughout the summer. This is our first year growing Super Kale, so we really weren't sure what to expect, but so far I've been pretty impressed with what we are seeing. So stay tuned for more follow-up videos on the Super Kales in the upcoming weeks. If you have any questions or comments on today's video, please feel free to leave your comments below. We will put a link, as mentioned, to our Bloomables collection so you can shop all of your favorite Bloomables perennials at gardencrossings.com. We have a retail garden center in Zeeland, Michigan, as well as online where we'll ship directly to your door. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.